Okay, welcome to the second of Midnight Makeup Sessions. Remember, these are just the way I do things with makeup. This time I went for kind of a school texture with open wounds in parts and healed in others. And let's go, okay? Again, I start by sketching the outline of the skull shape right onto my skin with black eyeliner right there, and just making the general shape of the skull with a crack and everything. And I draw the teeth. I define them. There we go, teeth, and a little correction there, and that's it. Now I start with my white latex. I went to get some toilet paper because that's what we use for volume, and my white latex right there, and just take a little square of paper and begin doing the outline of the skull directly with the brush. Remember, try to use an old busted brush because it will probably get ruined by the latex. So yeah, I'm doing most of the outline and letting it dry for a bit so it dries clear. And basically the eyes and the nose are going to be skin and the rest is going to be the wound. So again, tear a strip of paper and roll it, and we're just going to glue it around the outline directly and then soak it so it sticks but good right there on the skin, soaking the paper with the latex. And we repeat that for all around the outline of the skull and the shape. And well, right now I'm working on these little ones, but I think I'm planning actually a big one that I will do later on. But okay, now as you can see, I'm forming the outline of the skull, make it malleable and twistable. So there you go. I'm just completing the outline of the main skull with this one. Now most of the first coat of latex already dried up, so it won't glue correctly, so I will add a little bit more right there, and just there, finish the outline. It's okay if you get variations of the width of your papers because it makes it look more like skin. It's not evenly cut. It's like part of it is thick, part of it is thin. Now I'm making the teeth right there, and just doing the same general process as you can see there. And I'm going to do the teeth next. There we go, just making the general shape of the teeth with the latex and the paper. Actually breaking it a little bit so it fits, and soaking it. I really find that the more you wet the paper with the latex, the more it will stick and the longer it will last. So yeah, that's cool. And we're doing the teeth there, just giving it the overall shape right there. That's the last of the teeth, and just getting it to set. Next I'm gonna work on the eye. That little piece of paper was too small, so I made another one, and I'm going right on the what would be the left eye of the skull, making an interesting shape with it, just to give it volume. And you can give it as much volume or as less volume as you want, and just run with it, go crazy, and get creative, which is the main goal of this, of course. And well, there you can see it a bit closer. There's the eye, and that other one, I'm actually going to use it for the crack on the skull. Like someone really took the time to make these cuts. I'm having a bit of a trouble gluing that roll there, but finally I got it. I'm using the back of my brush and my finger, and there we go. That's the crack on the skull, and I'm going to do the other eye right now, and I'm actually going to do the nose right there. It's tiny, so it's you might want to use tweezers for that one, as I mentioned in the first video, but I do it with fingers, and I was able to get it in place. Now, next, another roll of paper, and I'm going for the eye. Yeah, I use two rolls of paper for the eye, just to make that general walnut shape that I like there. And for the smaller, for the other part of the nose, the last one, I actually made like a teardrop shape, and I just glued it right there. There you see the teardrop shape. Now I'm going to let this one dry off, and now I'm going to cover it with an entire square of toilet paper, and I'm going to soak it with the latex and the brush, just so it glues down and so it gets evenly out as skin. It's like an extra layer of skin just covering the wound, and also it helps you save the piece for later. There I'm making sure that all the spaces and little tiny holes are filled and really glued down, and just especially the borders, you want it to be very well glued to the borders, because that way it will stick on good to your skin. Now, another thing is that, as I said, it lets you save the piece for later, and I might actually later on show you a collection of them. I moved out of angle from the camera by mistake, but pretty much what I'm doing is just soaking that piece of paper. I broke off a little bit there, and overall process was about an hour. I speed it up for YouTube's sake, but yeah, you can see me. There we go. Transition into the next step. Actually, the layer of skin is dry, and you can actually see that it camouflages perfectly with my own skin. I'm drying my brush after rinsing it, and I'm working now with the red latex as I did in the other video, and just filling up the wound, the wound area, the spaces that are going to be the open flesh. You see my cheeks moving because I'm actually chewing gum for the video. I'm not talking like in last one, and I'm just filling up all those spaces, leaving the texture and volume that we gave the flesh intact, because we're going to match them later with the skin makeup. And as you can see, the nose and the eyes are not being filled up, because those are going to be also skin. So carefully fill out the areas. I'm doing the teeth now. This is again red latex colored with acrylic paint. So yeah, that's that part. And I'm filling up the teeth and making sure that it's glued down correctly. You can see it close up. And as I told you, it dries red even if it looks a bit pinkish at first. Drying the brush again. And next step is just letting it dry. Those areas that I'm pointing out are the ones that are going to be flesh colored. And now I'm texturing it, breaking off some latex, and you will actually see me do a pinch on the top of the skull. I'm going to do, there we go, yeah, I'm breaking it with my finger and making sure the teeth are set in correctly. And here comes the pinch effect right in a few seconds. Breaking it off with, I'm cracking it by twisting my skin there. And yeah, I'm lifting it with the brush, and here comes the pinch effect. It's actually quite interesting. I'm making a few holes on the texture there, just to give it the feel of real broken skin. And there's the pinch. I actually lifted a bit of it just to give it, as I say, texture. And now I go with my blood, artificial blood, to fill it out and make it look like really, really gory. There was a hair in the brush right there. So I'm just bleeding it out, making it gory and some might say nasty, but it's really cool. And you can add as much or as little blood as you want, just depending on how much texture you want to give it. If you get big drops, don't worry, it's cool. It keeps it more balance and more texture. Filling out the teeth there. If you go on the part that is supposed to be skin, don't worry about it because with the makeup you will make it even. And that's it. I'm wiping the brush from the blood, drying the surface, and covering my container. As I said, no messes. Now it's going to dry, and we're going to transition into the makeup phase. Here we go, makeup phase. Flesh-colored base all around the area, especially where the patch meets the real skin. And if it gets smudged, doesn't matter, it looks even better. So yeah, there we go. And I'm covering all that makeup area all around. I'm using the white applicator for the big areas, and then I'm going to go in with a brush just to give it the final hands and details. I'm just doing the scars there, the crack on the skull, and everything. And now I go in with a brush. I'm pulling it out right there and just coloring in the eyeballs and the nose sockets, the nostrils, and doing the outline of the teeth correctly. Again, out of frame. Sorry, I have to master that a bit, but I'm back to normal, and you can see everything there. So basically, that's just it. Coloring it and making sure that all the little whites become flesh colored, going around. There you go, the border. And the last thing that I'm going to do next is just fleshing it out. There we go. And I'm going to add some shadow with eyeshadow, with black eyeshadow right there. Just making it smudgy and black just to give it volume and texture, maybe some bruising around the skin. And pretty much that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you next time where I might be doing the same skull shape but this time as a healed scar. Remember to add your comments and subscribe if you want more, and catch you around the next time. Bye guys.